So, hello, I would love to recap what I've observed when viewing Miss Lu's first grade classroom. So, I'd love to start with the positives, the things that I feel were really on point. The first being that it took only about 1 minute to get students to sit appropriately on the carpet to begin the lesson. The teacher was very effective, has a good rapport with students, used fun and play with the spray bottle, and the way that she was able to engage students in that it was non-threatening. The students, you can tell they were very excited and happy to follow the teacher's directions, and they were redirected really quickly, and she was able to start the lesson. Another thing is that the teacher used a visual, conceptual visual, the 10 frame, which allowed students to visually see and to be interactive with the strategy of making 10. She also encouraged students to think about, well, first to volunteer to be a part of the 10 frame to represent counters on the frame. And she used relevant um, stories about where students could possibly be who were part of the 10, but who were not there on the frame. So using these type of scenarios were very powerful in helping students to understand the concept. So when looking at the core actions, core action one is definitely demonstrated in her approach to teaching the students and making it engaging. I would also say that overall, so many students, up to 70, 80%, 90% at times, of the students were eager to answer her questioning. She had very good questioning for students to think about um, information that she was teaching, as far as how do we know? How many more do we see to make 10? What do we know? Where could they be? Like, she consistently asks questions of students. Um, my feedback to her as far as things to grow in would be one, making sure that all students in core action two, employing instructional strategies that allow students to share. So at no time were students able to turn and talk and to give each other feedback on their ideas. Um, it would have been really powerful to give students that opportunity, like when she was asking questions, 2 or 3 kids raised their hands, and then she was providing that wait time, and then more kids raised their hands only for her to call on one student. So had she given kids that opportunity to turn and talk to one another before taking a response from one student, she could have heard different students discuss their reasoning and their thinking before calling on one student. So that could have been a powerful way to get more students to share their responses to questioning. Another powerful thing could have been, once she had finished guiding and showing them the whole class over the document camera what she expected, then to give kids some of that time. It took about 20 minutes before students were given time to work independently. Well, had she given some of that time to students to actually work, and then took about 2 or 3 work samples to show to the whole class what other students have done, that would have been another powerful way to make sure that all students, core action three, all students have a complete, good understanding of what is occurring. And it would have been a nice way for her to make sure that she cleared up misconceptions and that students had had an opportunity to demonstrate the understanding before going at it alone. So those would be the things that I would mention to her in next steps, next actionable steps to increase students' growth and understanding.